or talk about recognizing character development. And this is found on page 409 of your book. Let us start. So here we have so many characters in different movies and different novels and short stories that you may have read. Now I have here posted different kinds of characters from movies. Like we have here Mr. Scrooge from a movie about, I forgot the title, but it's a movie about this man hating Christmas. And we have here the stepmother of Cinderella. And we have here Joker from Batman. Gingerbread from Despicable from Shrek. Okay, now these characters differ in so many ways. And we're going to talk about how these characters were developed and what kind of characters are they in the story. Okay? So first, let's talk about character development. Now, character development is commonly unraveled in steps that allow the writer initially to introduce the traits and physical attributes, followed by discussions about behaviors. Now, isn't it that in a movie or in a story, the characters will always have a description of what kind of person is this character, or what are his or her behavior, or is he the bad character or this happy character or just this boring character. Now that's how writers play with developing a character and see how that character expresses opinions or through conversations with other characters as the story progresses. Now, as the story progresses, we get to know that, oh, we thought this character is someone who is very bad, but then later on we recognize that, oh, this character is really deep. He or she has a lot of views in life that we never thought that he can have such views or opinions by, reading more or watching as the story progresses, as that character also have conversations with the other characters, or how that character handle the different situations in the story. Now, in general, characters are developed into two sets of categories: the static, dynamic, and then we have the flat or ramp. Now first, let us go to static or dynamic. Okay, so we have here static and dynamic. If you recognize this one this is Scar from the story The Lion King, or from the movie Lion King, and this one is Maleficent from the Maleficent movie. Alright? So why are they labeled static or dynamic? Why is Scar labeled as static? Why is Maleficent labeled as dynamic? Now let's get to know the definition of static. When you say static, the character does not change. Now Scar here was introduced in the movie as this bad uncle. He's trying to get the kingdom, the animal kingdom for himself. And until the very end, he is still that bad uncle, the antagonist in the story. And from the very beginning, he never changed. So, Scar is considered static. In whatever situations that he may encounter, his character never changed. Now we have here dynamic. Dynamic is the opposite of static. Now, of course, if static does not change, dynamic changes. It does change. Now here, Maleficent is an example of a dynamic character because at the beginning of the story, she's this sweet girl, and then she fell in love with this guy, and then she's very happy, very in love, and then later on she was betrayed, and because of that betrayal, her character changed into like a witch or something really bad. She has gone bad. And then later on in the story, as the story progresses, you get to know Aurora, the girl, the daughter of the man she once loved. She cursed Aurora, but later on, she fell in love with this girl, Aurora, and her character once again changed into this loving, sweet, mother-like character for Aurora. So you can see the changes in the story as it progresses, and that's why Maleficent is considered as a dynamic character. Now, going back to our characters earlier, we have Scrooge, Gru, this stepmother, Joker, and we have the gingerbread man. We can say that in this set of characters, Gru is dynamic or static? I mean, this is not Gru, this is Scrooge. Scrooge is a dynamic character because at first he hates Christmas so much, and then later on he changed and he grew to have warm hearts, warm feelings about Christmas, and he started accepting Christmas. So Scrooge here is a dynamic character. How about stepmother? Did stepmother change in the story of Cinderella? No, she did not, and that's why she's considered a static character. She is a static character. How about Joker here? Joker started as this bad killer, murderer, antagonist of Batman, or the villain of Batman, or the nemesis of Batman, however you could call it. And the story ends as still this bad Joker. And is also considered as a static character. Gingerbread. In Shrek, Gingerbread is just a supporting character, just an extra. So we cannot really see a lot about this guy. But all throughout the story, he's still that gingerbread man that sometimes, gullible little boy like that. And then we have Gru. So Gru can be considered as well as a dynamic character because at first, he's really grumpy and he has these evil things in his mind going on. But later on, as the movie progresses, his views changed, right? He underwent a huge personality change throughout the movie. He's evil at the beginning, but Gru's morals and values and personality completely changed by the end of the movie. Okay, now let's go to the next one, which is, what's the next one? Flat or round? Now I have here another set of characters. Do you remember this guy over here? This guy is Tadashi from Big Hero 6. Unfortunately, he died. Okay, and this one is Dumbledore from Harry Potter series. Okay, so why is Tadashi considered as flat and why is Dumbledore considered as a round character? Now, what are the characteristics of a flat character and a round character? Okay, first, a flat character is one-dimensional. It focuses only on a singular personality or trait. If he is this happy-go-lucky man, then all throughout the story, he's this happy-go-lucky man. We cannot see any more character traits about him. For example, we can say that though he's a happy-go-lucky man, when he goes back at home, he's a very serious person and very interested in dark things and stuff, and he has a very deep opinions about things. Now, we can say that he is not a one-dimension character because there's a lot of things going on about that person. However, Tadashi here is just the same inside and outside of his house or wherever he goes and all throughout the story. While here, a round character has a complex personality, just like what I have given you as an example of, a person being a happy-go-lucky guy outside of his home, but then when he comes inside, there's a lot of stuff going on about him, and we get to know a lot of different characters about his persona in a deeper level because he's some kind of deep guy with varied opinion about things. Okay, so Dumbledore has this very complex personality. We cannot really measure his thoughts and opinions. It's just that every time he opens his mouth about giving some advices to Harry, we just get to have these realizations that, oh yeah, we cannot just judge Dumbledore as this kind of person, like this and that, but he has a very, very complex personality. Okay? Now, there might be some questions that, is a round character the same with dynamic character, or is it a flat character the same with a static character? Now, there are instances that a static character can be a round character. Why? Just like Dumbledore here. From the very beginning of the story, he's this already mysterious guy with a lot of thoughts, and he's very wise. He's full of wisdom. And until the very end of the story, he's still this guy. So he's considered as a static character. But because he has a complex personality, he can be considered as a round character. Okay? Static and round. But he is not dynamic because there's not much changes. Okay? So let's go back to the set of characters that we had earlier. So again, we have Scrooge, Gru, Stepmother, Joker here, and Gingerbread Man. Okay, so based from all of these characters, we can say that Scrooge is also a dynamic character, while Stepmother here is a flat character. We don't know much about her. It's just that we know her as this bad stepmother of Cinderella. Okay, and we have here Joker. Isn't it that we said Joker earlier is a static character, but he is an example of your round character. Now, if you really have watched all the movies where Joker is present, you can really see how deep his character can be, and how did he become such a man he is now. Gingerbread Man is a flat character. That's how we know him. And Gru here is a round character. Now, why is Gru considered as a round character? Because just like what we knew earlier, he is this evil man before. So he has his mean and selfish sides. But then we can also see his softer sides when it comes to his daughters. So that's why he is round character. Now, I hope that is clear to you. For your activity, read the excerpt found on page 410 in your book and list down the characters and identify what type of character are they and explain why. So, for example, character 1, Juan, from the excerpt that you have read. So, for example, the character number 1 is Juan de la Cruz. So you put the name Juan de la Cruz here. And what type of character is he? So in the type of character, there's going to be two answers: static or dynamic, and flat or round. So for example, he is a static character and also he's a dynamic character. So there's going to be two answers here. And then write the explanations why. So he is a static character because blah blah blah, it did not change in the story. But then he can also be considered as a round character because we can see different personality traits in the story as it progresses, just like that. Okay, so this, you write this in the one whole sheet of paper that you have used earlier. So this has been Teacher Del. Bye.